Hey everybody, how's it going? So the other day I put out a video showing you how to use the QuickPod platform. And this is going to be a little bit of a follow-up to that. I want to be able to deploy idle mining scripts or just idle scripts in general. You know, you can do whatever you want on there. And so I also got a little bit of feedback from the moderator in here. So I want to go over that real quick just to make sure, you know, you guys are aware of all like the helpful and constructive information. That was my first time ever doing it, and I guess I've only had it on there for about 4 days now. Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's looking a little bloody. I'm recording this video February 5th, right after Wolf Spaces. And it is looking like market turbulence. There's still a lot to be optimistic about, in my opinion, depending on your strategy and your timeline. But looking for a new Bitcoin network difficulty adjustment soon, and got some other plans. But the main purpose of this video is to show you guys how to deploy an idle mining script on the QuickPod platform, for any of you guys that ended up kind of going through with getting that set up. So shout out to Disk Parting from the QuickPod Discord, and I'll leave a link in the video description for their Discord channel. But for the new hosts, which if you're watching this video is probably you, make sure that before you do the video that before you follow steps in the video I did the other day, you set up your host account first. Also, you want to be in root. Super user, you want to be sudo su. I don't know if I say that right, but make sure you are root before you start doing the install. And there's a couple other things here. Make sure you read these. The port forwarding is very important. In that video, I actually made a little bit of a mistake. And so I'm going to shout out to whoever pointed that out. This guy, I used the wrong IP. I had used the correct IP doing the UFW forwarding on the server. However, I by accident used the Windows IP when I was doing the port forwarding in my router. So make sure you're actually forwarding the ports of the rental server in both your router and also in your, on your server itself with UFW. And I show those commands in the video from last week. And further, you can use a port checker, right? Please make sure, because you will get dinged if your ports are closed and you try and relist without fixing, you could get your machine blocked. So make sure that you're on top of that. Also, a couple other helpful tidbits here. They recommend disabling automatic Ubuntu updates and to run the NVML fix as listed in the setup process. Otherwise, your GPU may be unusable. And then just kind of a general disclaimer, you should have at least some basic Linux knowledge. I guess I have a bit. I tend to get by. I'm not like a native Linux user or anything, but if you follow the video and you're not an asshole and you ask for help, you can learn pretty fast. So, just do your best. But they seem pretty welcoming, so, and I can help you out in any way that I can. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over those real quick, and then now I will show you how to get yourself a idle mining script hosted on your, QuickPod rental while you're waiting for a job. So my plan is going to be to deploy a very simple idle miner, because this 4090 over here actually in my downstairs office is my space heater right now. So I'm just going to use it to do a little bit of GPU and probably CPU mining as well. But for now, we're going to just very simply do an instance of, I think I'm going to do Regal miner. So first thing we're going to want to do is just check and make sure what version of, NVIDIA drivers you have on this system. So I'm actually SSH'd in. It's right over here and physically next to me, but just so you guys can know, just run your NVIDIA SMI and take note of what CUDA version you have, because we want to make sure that the CUDA version is compatible with the container that we're going to use to deploy and SSH into to run our idle miner, right? And so I have CUDA version 13. Now, if you come over into the QuickPod platform, you're going to want to click on templates. And we're going to be using Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, if you're familiar. And as you can see, there's a couple different versions ranging from CUDA 11 to 13, right? And so locally, you walk over to the server, or I'm just locally SSH'd in here. You would run NVIDIA SMI and just make sure that you have the matching CUDA version. Now, once you check that box, you can click Select, okay? And this will select the Jupyter Lab template. Then from there, you're going to pop on over into Hosting. Then, once the template is selected, and you're in this Hosting tab, you will click Create Job. I have literally just done this. Once you click Create Job, it'll kind of load for a second, and then you're gonna hop on over into Pods. Now, I just set this up, and I've actually been talking to Disk Parting in the Discord, and so this will finish running its setup, and from there, you're going to be able to just click Connect. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, if you do not get the ability to click Connect, it is because you may need to downgrade your version of Docker. There is a patch coming in the next couple of days, so by the time you're watching this, everything should most likely deploy smoothly. If it does not, and you're just like in that 1 or 2 day window before this fix gets rolled out, I'm gonna leave the steps for how to downgrade your Docker container in the video description below. So just want you guys to make a quick note of that. This may be totally relevant, but just in case, the steps will be in the video description. Yeah, so real quick, once it's done deploying there, you're gonna go ahead and click on Connect, and then you're gonna do Connect to Jupyter Lab, and that'll take you to this screen, and then you can continue. Now, all I'm really gonna do is access a terminal now that I'm in here, and my plan is to just do wget on a instance, I guess is the right term, of Rigel miner, Regal, Rigel, whatever. So I'm gonna do wget, and I'm gonna paste in there Regal miner, if it'll let me. Paste, bam, there we go, and enter. Nice. So we're downloading Regal miner. And from here, then we're gonna clear that. Now let's just see if we got it. Very nice. So we're gonna unzip that XVSF, whatever there, Regal, XVZF, sorry. And then we're going to, let's just get rid of the extra there. Save space, sorry. Good. And then we're gonna change directory into Regal Miner. Now, since we're in Jupyter Notebook and we have that all unzipped, we can just go ahead and instead of using Nano to edit our config, we are going to just literally use Jupyter Notebook here. So we're just gonna have to get rid of these errors. That's obviously gotta be AlphaPool, the coolest pool. And then we are going to just be using a space heater. So I actually wanna run Cowpow. I'm still stacking some Quai, even though the markets are a little wild right now at my house. So I'm gonna do US1 AlphaPool.tech and the port. You can mine whatever the hell you want. So this is just an exercise in getting Regal Miner and then selecting your pool. So I'm gonna do my Quai wallet, one sec. I'm gonna put that in here, and then I'm gonna name this rig, which is this is QuickPod 01, and then we're just gonna do 4090 so I know what it is. Then we're just gonna give this one look over, Quai pool. And then all right, I got everything in here, so now I'm going to Control S and save this, or you can file save, and then now I am going to open a terminal in that directory I was in before, and now I'm just going to do bash command on my Quai and run it. Yes. All right, Houston, we have liftoff. So there you have it, guys. We are officially running an idle mining script, if you will, on our QuickPod rental server while it's waiting to get a job, and this is mining. Let's go ahead and check if it is successfully mining to the pool. Here is my address, Hey, there she is. As soon as you get a submitted share at my pool, you should see your workers show up. Again, you can mine whatever the hell you want, but I just wanted to get Kapow running on this particular GPU because, again, this is a space heater down in my office. So for right now, it's keeping it warm. It's not profitable, but I actually just need the heat. I think I might end up going and grabbing XMRig and having this CPU mine as well. So one other resource I wanted to share with you guys real quick is shout out to ThreeFox from Kalahari Labs there over in this Discord. I will leave links to all this stuff in the video description below, but there is a pretty neat Grafana dashboard that has been built, and so you can kind of check out some of the stats, and you can see the occupied versus unoccupied GPUs. There's a couple different things that you can check out here. Feel free to dig into all this juicy data, and as usual, good luck and happy mining, everybody.